You have an update on Davis?
Yes, he's in tonight. Limited minutes, but he will play tonight.
And a quick question just about the standings. Between 4 and 12 is separated by 3 games. Is this something kind of you and the staff have monitored, and does it kind of lend you to have certain type of patience because the teams are just bunched together?
I mean, I follow the standings. I've been following it for 40 years. I love the game. I love watching it. I love reading box scores and this and that. But I think it's definitely to an advantage to having a slow start. There's a lot of teams that are struggling. There's a lot of teams that are right there with us in the loss column. We got a couple more, 3 more games or so to make up. But it's still just focusing on this game because there's a lot of basketball left. There's what, 40, 42 games left or so. So, but yeah, there's a lot of teams right there with each other.
Fred?
Yes, Scott, just building off of that, there's way more parity this year. Like the difference in quality between team number 5 and team number 25 is so much different than usual. What do you make of that? Why do you think that is this year?
I mean, there's a lot of good young players in the league, probably more than ever. I think a lot of good young players, not just first year, first, second, third, fourth year players they're playing well. There's a lot of good teams. I know there's a couple of high teams that are winning at a higher level than others, but there's a lot of teams right there. But you're right. I don't necessarily know why the parity, especially in the East. There's a lot of teams from 3 all the way down that are right there within games of each other in the loss column.
Do you think the circumstances of this season, just with COVID, teams not practicing, shooting around, all that stuff, does that even out the playing field is all, or is that not related?
Well, I mean, I don't really know. I just know what we do and what we're going through, and there's definitely things that I wish we can have practices and things that we can work on. We try to do things on film, and we shoot videos to our players, but it's nothing like being on the court. There's nothing. That's a good old fashioned way to get better, and that's really the thing that's lost during all this. But we can't worry about that because a lot of teams are in the same situation. I'm assuming not every team has to make up a lot of the games that we had to make up with all of our back-to-backs coming in the next half. But no shoot-arounds. I think that's pretty much standard throughout the league. I mean, guys, even the last couple of years, shoot-arounds were limited, and if you did have them, they weren't like the shoot-arounds of my playing days where you had to be taped and it was 90 minutes and you went through everybody's 4 or 5 plays live and you couldn't let them score on you. And the offensive team that didn't get to play much and they were trying to score every time on you, and it was end up being a fist fight, and Van Gundy would try to break it up, and then we'd be angry at each other, but we're ready to play at 7:00. So we don't have those anymore.
Chase?
Hey, Scott. Garrison Matthews has drawn more offensive fouls than anyone on your team. What makes him good at doing that? And is it fair to say that, maybe he's beyond his years or his experience doing that? Is that something you generally would more see from veterans?
No, I mean, I think the defense, along with his head coach, is sometimes surprised that he even takes the shot. So he gets the defense in a weird position, and they're thinking, okay, he's not taking the shot, and so they're coming full speed, and he's stopping on a dime, and he gets bumped. He's not embellishing. He's not flopping. Those are fouls, and he has a way of drawing those. But he's the thing I like about it, he's not trying to. He's focused on making the shot first, and that's to me, that's the part of that mindset that he has that I like, because he's not kicking his leg out. He's not trying to draw fouls. He's trying to get the shot to go down first, and then it's a bonus if he does get the foul. But it also I think he's gotten a little bit better on his catch and goes too, and those are the ones that he seems to be getting some of those calls as well, where he sees the guy out of control and he goes right into their bodies. And, he's a strong kid. He can make some of those and ones.
Sorry to clarify, I meant offensive fouls. Like, I think last game there might have been 2 like illegal screens, charges taken and that sort of thing.
Oh, you're talking about, I thought him getting to, free throws. That's not you're not talking about?
No, like when he's on defense.
Oh, when he's drawing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're pretty good overall, aren't we? One of the league leaders of taking charges.
I believe so.
Yeah, I think he's in the mix. But I think we talk about it a lot. We show it during film, so it's not that we have a reward system, but we make sure we highlight it during our film session when we do have a bunch of them. But there's been games we've had 3 or 4 of them, so you gotta be willing to put your body on the line, and we all know Garrison on both ends of the floor. He's not shy of contact. I think he gets mad at himself if he doesn't have a bruise on him after a game.
Neil?
Hey, Scott, I know previously you guys had Anthony, Troy, Jerome, Esau going through kind of like group drills instead of like normal pregame shoot around. Today, they were doing like heavy 2v2 scrimmaging. How much development can you have when that's kind of the extent that they can do when you guys aren't really practicing right now?
Yeah, I mean, they've been doing that quite a bit, and there's been like off days would have, even 4-on-4 and throw a couple of coaches in there to make it 5-on-5. That's the only thing that we can do right now. Like I said, we wanted games. Well, in February we got them, but by getting a lot of games, there's not a lot of practice times. When you have young guys that you care about and you want their career to keep, improving their play, you have to be able to do whatever it takes. And right now, the 2-on-2 is what they're doing before games. Every game, they've been doing that, and I give them credit. Sometimes, it becomes a little bit, tiresome, or because they're not getting rewarded a lot, but you have to be able to do that. I thought Bunga gave us 5 minutes a couple of games ago. I think that was maybe the Clipper game. Troy gave us good minutes last game. But you got to be ready when you get your number called. And I think by them doing that, and that's important. I think another thing is like Anthony Gill. He's been a great addition because he does whatever we need him to do, and he's out there. He'll play 2-on-2 before games, after games. It doesn't matter. But how those guys stay sharp, they got to be able to do that. But I doesn't go. We notice it. I notice it and I watch it. A lot of times I'm out there watching it for 10, 15 minutes, but I like that. That's the only way you can do it right now when we don't have a lot of practice time.
Take the last question from Leonardo.
Coach, it's Leonardo Torres from Peru. Hope you're well.
I'm doing
Coach.
great.
Yeah. How to describe the amazing season of Bradley Beal? I mean, why is so special for the team?
Well, I mean, he's a special person. I think that's the thing that always stick out. When I'm retired one day, I'm going to always look back at how good of a guy Brad is. Brad is an incredible person, and he's his leadership has really taken us to places, the last couple of years when we've had a lot of changeover and players hurt. But he never wavered. He just always, stayed on course, and he's led us. And as a player, he's improved every year for almost, 5 years now. I'm glad he's being rewarded. 3rd-time All-Star. I'm glad he's a starter this year, but it's well deserved. But his game, his play, his determination, his leadership, his ability to make plays for himself and make big plays and keep us from, falling apart at times. And sometimes especially this year, we can easily have gotten some weird places, but we stayed the course because of his leadership.
Hey, Coach, can you tell Fred Katz who you're starting tonight?
Fred.
Yeah, I want the exclusive on it, if that's all right.
All right. I'm surprised Chase didn't ask the first question. We're gonna mix it up. We're gonna go with the same starting lineup.
Thanks, Scott. Thanks, Darren.
All right.
See you
Thanks,
guys
Coach.
after.
All right. See everyone post game.